Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hey, good morning, everyone. What's going on with my camera? I cleaned my desk. Well, I didn't really clean my desk yesterday. Last week we finished the master class on, what day was that? Thursday. That's when I came back to life. I was in some kind of cocoon all the way up till it was done. And boy, what a life-changing experience that was for me. I just want to say, and thank you all so much for all of your prayers and your support. I love you. I love you. I love you. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris. How was your weekend? I'll tell you one thing, in the words of my good friend Jed Clampett, what in tarnation happened to the weekend? It just, right? Here one moment, gone the next, but there's another one in front of us. So let's get through this week together, shall we? And we'll have another one of those before we know it. I am so excited to be here and start another week with all of you. Welcome again to the show this season, season 5. Our theme is Show Me Your Soul, and I'll show you mine. I love my new theme song for this year. I love watching everybody in the green room get their groove on. Our guest today, Harrison Klein, was back there busting a move. He didn't think I could see him. But that nanny cam over in the corner is watching everything you're doing, Harrison. I saw you. He was doing everything from the cabbage patch to the electric slide back there. So we've got Harrison Klein in the house today, you guys. So happy to have him here. He was here not long ago, but he's back because he has a wonderful, 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 wonderful summit coming up April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're going to talk about that today. And in the news. Maybe you guys put in the comments if you know anything about this. Yolanda Riley, how are you? Super fan, top fan. And Amber Lee, so happy to see all of you here, and the rest of you. Mwah, missed your faces. Now listen, I was in a clubhouse this morning. I do that when I go in the gym. I listen to the different things going on, and everybody was talking about something about a video with that singer, that rapper kid named Nas, Little Nas. You guys hear about that? I don't know what happened, but it was something about, I know I was in this one Empowered Mornings room. It's a devotion and thing, a room for that, guided meditation. And they were talking about how we can use, let me get it right. What did they say? Using our, when we weaponize, what happens when we weaponize our gifts? I thought that sure was an interesting thing to talk about, weaponizing our gifts. So, and they were all talking about this thing about some video or something with this kid, Little Nas. You know about it? I'm gonna Google it later, get to the bottom of that. At this point, you hear that? Did you? That's the bell of purpose, y'all. That means that when you hear that bell ring, it means that you have an opportunity. That's not how it works. That's how it works. That's your opportunity to be a part of something greater than yourselves. Phone a friend, send out a raven, share the broadcast, get the good news into someone else's space. Don't hold it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. Get it out there. Share it as soon as possible. I'm telling you, that's how you know. That's one of the litmus tests, I feel, for when we are checking, am I in alignment with my purpose? Well, whenever something is there that you can give away freely, unconditionally, do it. Okay? That's the bell of purpose. It also means that one of us, me, rarely, but me sometimes, our guests all the time, and all of you in the form of your comments, that means that there's some gold out there in them dar heels. Take it with you. Don't just walk past these great nuggets. Put them in your pocket. They'll come in handy later, and that's a promise. The promise is fulfilled every morning when we come together, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Central, that where two or more of us come together. It doesn't say something wonderful might, could, should, possibly will happen. The promise is that it will happen, and today is no exception, and that is a promise as well. Okay, at this point, help me welcome to the show, as always. She's under contract. This is my version of Ed McMahon. This is Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. She's been with me all 5 years. Hi, how you doing? How was your weekend, Red? And we're drinking on, hold on, what was it? Oh, just plain old breakfast blend. I decided to go with that because even though I've been saying that, you know, I had double chocolate last week. I had cinnamon bun coffees, and I thought, oh, they smell like they sound like the name, but they don't really taste like it. Plus it's my way to cheat and get some sweets in my mindset without getting them into my waistline. Well, that obviously isn't true because I gained 1/4 pound, and I blame it on that double chocolate. I knew it the minute I sipped it. Be careful. Be careful. I don't know what's in some of these things, but I got to blame it on some. Wait a minute. Was it that cupcake? Nah, it was the coffee. So anyway, who is here? Harrison Klein. Yes, he is. I called him. Did you notice when I put out, I put a little teaser into the description. I said he's an influencer icon. And I feel that way. And, I don't even know all the things he's done, but I do know that when I'm in his presence, I lean forward, I lean in, I feel myself reaching for a pen or some implement to be able to write something down because I know something wonderful is on its way. I can just sense it. You know what I mean? You ever been around those kinds of folks? That's how Harrison Klein is. And like I said, we're going to talk about a lot of things today, and I'm going to get him in here because I don't want to waste any more of this precious opportunity. So you guys, you know what we do. It's bathrobe moment fashion. Get in here, put your heart into it. Put your hearts on the screen, and let's welcome Harrison Klein because here he comes. Oh, wait a minute. Hi, Teresa Griffin. You guys, we have Teresa Griffin from The Voice. Teresa Griffin, y'all. Tonight is the night. Oh, Google her. She has a great show on the E360 TV network called Tea Time with Teresa Griffin every Tuesday. She was on The Voice. She has a wonderful album. This girl can cook. She can sing. Love you. I missed your face, Diva. Where you been? I'm glad you're here, Teresa. I left you a message a couple weeks ago. You blew me off, so I don't know what's up with that. So anyway, Harrison Klein, I saw you back there getting jiggy with it.
I was. You're a great talk show host. You had a great music. It was awesome, and I love the way you present. Man, this is
Oh,
you are something else, brother. I love it. Something
something
very
else.
cool. You know,
Oh.
you got the gift of gab. You got the gift of wisdom. You got the gift of love. Oh my God, you are
And I'm cute
awesome.
too.
Huh?
I
And you're
said, and I'm
cute.
cute too.
You're cuter than cute.
Oh,
You are
stop,
cuter than
Harry.
cute.
Can I call you Harry? I'm kidding. Harrison. Harrison Klein, Harrison Ford, you're in good company. Harrison, tell everybody where you are in the world and give us a little insight, a little backstory, if you could, on how you got started. Were you always this Harrison Klein, or were there other versions?
No, there were many other versions,
Well, give
but
us the good, juicy
yeah.
ones.
No, I started out in Munich. I was born in Munich, Germany. I have a destiny story for my birth, and that is that my parents were Holocaust survivors, and so
Oh,
they went through World War II, and they were subjected to every heinous crime you can imagine. My mother being raped multiple times because she was a beautiful woman, my father being shot in the leg for no reason, all kinds of different things, and his leg never healed right, so it was like wavy, and after World War II, basically, and having gone through all that stuff, my mother was walking down the street in Munich, Germany one day, and some man who she didn't know approached her and said, "Are you Helen Klein?" And she said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, I know a man who keeps your picture above his bed. My father and mother hadn't seen each other for 8 years, and then they got reunited, and I was a result of that reunification story. Many
wow.
poems have been written about that story. So and it's a true story. So
That's
that was just,
incredible.
yeah, and that's just one thing. So I was born in Cleveland, Ohio, when my parents came to this country out of Germany, relocated to this country. They came with just the clothes on their back and two kids. I had a brother, and they didn't have any skills, no marketing skills, and couldn't speak the language, and yet they built a life here, you know. So, but it was a very difficult life for them because they were having come out of all those years of torture and difficulty and pain. They
Mm-hmm.
they were in survival mode consistently. They didn't know if they could survive. They didn't know if they could put food on the table. They didn't know if they could live or provide for anything. And so it was always tough. And after the years that they weren't together, my parents had to get to know each other a little bit better. And it turns out they weren't as compatible after the war as they were before. And so, there was a constant set of fighting in the house. There was always fear. There was always intensity and high battle. It was a high battleground. And, the person who I was, by the time I was age 4, I was completely wrapped in fear. And by the time I was age 5, I had witnessed my father, for the first and only time in his life, getting violent with my mother.
Oh,
And at that point, I was already very deeply in fear. And then at the age of 4 or 5, somewhere in there, I said to myself, if this is life, I don't want any part of it. I don't want anything. And then at that very moment, I shut down. I shut down all my awareness and every
at
single
five.
awareness. I didn't want to see. I didn't want to hear. I didn't want to know anything. So I just went into this place of complete darkness, and I was in that space for 23 years. So I didn't hardly have a conversation with anybody till I was 30 years old. So the persons that I was as I grew up was I could be around books, I could be around anything that was inanimate, but I couldn't be around anything living, no animals, no people, no nothing. I
Now,
had no connection.
I got it. Okay, perfect. Because here's what I'm so glad you said that, because it jarred a question that I've been meaning to ask you, because I have an event coming up, not just a 90-minute TV special on Friday, because Friday is World Autism Awareness Day. So I was talking to, I have 5 guys, and one of them's in his 40s. So, but right.
They're kids.
They're all autistic, and one of them said, yeah, I ain't gonna say which one, but we got through it. He goes, yeah, that Harrison Klein, he said something about how is it that you framed the thing about having been autistic?
I was autistic for all those years, for 23 years.
And
So
and then you
then I had a mystical experience, a miraculous healing, all in one moment, and it changed my life forever. Just one instance changed everything. So
So when you refer to autism, what tense do you speak to it in or from?
for me, right now, it's past tense.
Right.
To me, it's a memory at this point that is no longer emotionally charged. But in the
See?
early part of my life, was completely fear and constriction about everything. Total shutdown. Yeah.
Well, this particular person, after we got into it, I said, well, I said, you can't take things out of context. I said, that's probably a breadcrumb he drops out there. So people go, what? What in the world? What you talking about, Willis? How can that happen? And then I said, well, if you want to find out, before you pass judgment, Mr. X, go in and read a story. Go find out all of the story. And that's what he did. He went straight to Amazon and picked up, I don't know which one of your 4 books, but he got something. Might have got them all. But it was a great opportunity because I was like, trust me. If he said it, it's what his reality is, and you might be able to benefit from it. So get in there and get you some. So Harrison, 4 books. What year, how old were you when you published your first book? And what was it about? What is it about?
Well, that depends. Again, the 4 books that I published, I have volumes of. They are.
Let me get ready for this one. Hold on.
I gotta find where one of them is.
I'm ready for you too. Go. Oh, keep going. There you go. Okay, here it comes, everybody.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
It's called Messages from the Light.
And there on the screen.
Amazing.
Shameless plug. There we go.
Amazing, life-changing messages from the light. And I have 4 volumes of that. Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Messages from the light.
Yes.
Now, when
these are things that I've channeled over the years that have come to me that are deep wisdoms on how to make a change in people's lives.
Okay, so
in everybody's life.
Most people, when they think of somebody saying I stepped into the light. I got a message from the light. Come into the light, Carol Ann. Come into the light. They think it was from a near-death experience or something from poltergeist. How was your experience, and what is this light you speak of?
Well, the light is the light of consciousness. So when we are shut down, we are actually restricting our consciousness pretty dramatically. It's like, our consciousness is flow. So there's water through a hose. But when you're shut down in any way, it's like stepping on the hose. The water can't get through. So your awareness is slow. Your awareness is dull. You're not sharp in the moment. You are, barely getting out what is your self-expression or your gifts, if at all, basically. And so the whole process of just coming into the light is the release of all those things that block you into your singular attention and focus points, so that you no longer are a fragmented human being. You're not negative about this or that or whatever the case may be. You are a holistic person in every way. All your senses are aligned. Your subconscious, your conscious, and superconscious are aligned. Your life perceptions are aligned, and you have a point of view, but yet you're totally flexible, and you're in this space of enormous love with gigantic energy, and energy and love and awareness and consciousness. They're all words for the same thing. And so basically, as we open ourselves up and we open our hearts up and as we open our minds up, we get to experience this transcendent experience, which is beyond space and time. Space and time collapse into the moment. There's nothing but the moment. And in that place, you have no self. You are just awareness. You're just a point of awareness. And in that point of awareness, you understand your body is simply a vehicle, and that everything that you see is in relation to you. You're not in relation to it. It's in relation to you. So all of the human beings, like in the Matrix, he's, the one, and you're able to experience things as you. Basically, the energy is coming from you. The light is not out there coming in. There is no out there. There's only an in here. And it's not coming in. You are generating it. You are generating all light. So as you begin to feel that, as you really begin to viscerally experience that, your life changes in dramatic ways. You begin to know that you are the creator of all of your experiences.
Okay.
Viscerally.
I love all that. I know you guys love all that, but here we go. Here's what we're going to do. Let's back the car up. Let's go all the way back down to the beginning of the block. When you said that you had, I forget exactly how you framed it, a transformational.
Transcendent experience, yes.
Yeah, that.
Miraculous experience.
Right. That moment, that day, that time, I don't know if it was 10 minutes, 10 hours, 10 weeks, 10
Could have been
days.
any of that. I don't know how long I was in it. Yeah.
Okay. But you remember when you were in it.
Impossible to forget.
Exactly. So that's the point I love to take people back to, because a lot of times it gets skipped over. This was me before and this is me now, but I'm talking about that moment when you were in it. Can you walk us through what happened? One moment you were this person, then this experience began.
Right.
Something happened inside and you came out the other end. So take us through that, so that I won't, because somebody might be experiencing something like it, doesn't know what to call it, they dismiss it, whatever. I can't tell anybody, they're gonna think I'm crazy. I know that was the case with me. So kind of explain what it felt like, how you got there. Did you ask for it? Did it just get shoved on you? Did you have to choose after it was offered? What was the negotiation aspect of this thing?
There was no negotiation. It was a moment of grace. So
wait a minute. You're saying that you automatically had to take it, or did you not have to choose to take it?
No, you have to choose to take it.
Okay, so that's my point.
Yes.
It's an agreement.
It comes upon you without warning. So it's what the Japanese call a satori, which is translated to mean sudden enlightenment.
Right.
But you have the choice of to take it or not to take it. So you get steeped in it, and you
talk about that choosing space.
Well,
I'll take it, or did you like? Let me think about this for a minute. How did it work?
Well, you experience you lose the self, so you don't know who you are at that particular moment. When that happens to you, it's a gigantic influx of energy, a gigantic download of I would say 100 to 1,000 times more energy than you had prior to that moment. So you suddenly become something else, or you become nothing, if you will. You're everything and nothing simultaneously. It's God experiencing himself through us. And so it's that moment where you lose this identity with the flesh. You lose the identity with everything that's around you as being part of you, and you are just this incredible point of awareness that is emerging everything that is around you. So the first thing that happens is you actually get to connect with either guides or God or whatever you want to interpret that as. But it's for me, it was a godlike experience, and I was atheist before that moment.
So did you ask for it? That's my.
I did not ask for it. I didn't even know it existed.
So you were just sitting there. That person who had not really come out of himself. You said since you were like 5 years old until this 20-something-year-old.
Yes, 20. Yeah.
Out of nowhere, which I'm doing air quotes because we know nothing is from nowhere, but at the time you were probably thinking that way. Something shows up and says, knocks on the door. Hey, Harrison, I got a calling on your life. And it wasn't a conference call because it was just you and the switchboard operator and what is greater than. What did it say to you? How did you, you know what I mean?
Well, I can tell you, I can describe the experience. So
there we go.
The experience is that one moment I'm sitting in a chair and I'm drawing this picture in a little notebook on an overstuffed chair in a small apartment in Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm looking over to the left, I'm looking over to the right, and without warning, my consciousness is yanked out of my body, and suddenly I'm moving at a velocity faster than light. I got clouds coming at me, got patterns coming at me, got colors coming at me. Yeah, like about 10 times the intensity of the movie 2001 when you go into the light spectrum. So the stuff is coming at me. Suddenly I'm watching planets birth and die, and I'm watching, and I'm moving past them as they're birthing and dying, and I'm seeing the galaxies itself from a perspective. I'm seeing them all spin, and I'm hearing choirs of angels, or what I now interpret to be choirs of angels in the background. And this is what happens when you become enlightened. The choirs of angels sing for your joy. So at least that's what I understand.
Did you think you were dying?
I didn't know what was going on. I had no clue whatsoever. It was holding on for dear life because of the velocity of the movement that was going on. I had
You could actually feel it.
viscerally, completely feel it. Yes. All time and space collapsed. There was no more time and space. I was just in this experience. So you can't
So
even.
how did it communicate, Harrison? Did you hear words? Did you see, well, you saw things?
During the experience, no words. But after the experience, after I'm deposited back in my body, I suddenly came to a new awareness. I come to the awareness of I had clairvoyance, clairaudience, articulation, my intelligence probably boosted by, I'd say, 20 to 40 points in an IQ form. My ability to perceive was so enhanced that I was just totally blown away. I mean, I was in a state of complete shock and awe. So I'm watching colors vibrate, reds, blues, greens, yellows, grays. I'm actually seeing the differences in their vibration. I'm seeing things translucently. I can look at something that's basically opaque and I can see through it at different times.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear conversation 20 yards away, maybe or so clearly that I couldn't hear, across a table, like on a screen the moment before this. And for the 23 years before that, I couldn't hear that conversation. Here I could hear people 20 yards away and I could hear every single word clear as a bell. So my body was one of what Eckhart Tolle calls a pain body. So whenever anybody got within my auric field, which is anywhere 6 to 9 or 12 feet out from you, basically, I began to experience stabbing pains in my ribs. So when I came through the process, not only did I not have those stabbing pains, my body was totally relaxed at that particular point. In fact, the first time in my life that I can remember, I experienced total amazement and joy. So the joy was awesome. I mean, awesome.
Would you consider that euphoric?
Absolutely euphoric, beyond euphoric. I would say it was a space of pure light.
So you're back, and then you start moving around back in your literal world with people that have known you and saw you just yesterday or whatever. Yeah. What was happening? Could people tell, something's different about you?
Absolutely.
What kind of feedback were you getting when you returned? Because I get this. I get it. It's happened to me.
I didn't have a conversation with anybody until I was probably 30 years old. So except for, how much is this or what do I have to do here? But very, very basic. Even my own family, I had very little communication.
So did anyone notice any differences, any changes after this?
Of course they noticed, but they didn't know what it was. And I wasn't at liberty to tell them. So I didn't, I thought they may have even thought that I was crazy if I was going to tell them.
What do you mean you weren't at liberty?
The voice that came to me directly after I became conscious and became fully conscious was tell no one of this experience. I now have permission to do that, but for the first several years of this, I had no permission to say that. So it said, tell no one of this experience. So the perceptions of who I was after that, were up to the people who had known me from before, but I wasn't at all involved in, their perceptions. And yes, they said, "Oh, you're different. What's going on?" And I said, "Well, things happen."
Why do you think you were instructed to not tell anyone?
I don't know. I think that it's not. I think that you can't claim a place of God experience and especially for somebody who has been so out of it and autistic, and you can't claim this miraculous healing, without some sort of permission or credit that you give to God. But it didn't even want that. It just wanted to just have me experience itself. That's all it wanted. So it didn't want me to be a braggart. It didn't want me to talk about that. It didn't want me to express myself about this. This was not the thing that was important.
That's not why it was happening at the time, right?
Yeah, what was important was the energy and the love and the perceptive new abilities and new powers, if you want to call them powers, that I had.
So how did it go when you were given instruction to go ahead and share this? Were you told what to do with it, why you're doing it, or?
Well, I'm told that your mission in life is to bring people through this process. Your mission in life is to expand higher consciousness, to experience joy, and to help others experience joy at the highest levels. So,
Well, that makes sense. So I am sure that that ties into what's coming up here. Well, you do it every day, all day, but you guys may remember at the top of the hour, I mentioned that there's a summit coming up the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of April. And why don't you talk about that for a second and just introduce it? Then we're going to go to break and come back and take them deeper into this wonderful summit.
I can't wait to have this summit with you guys. It's awesome. Lauren is going to be one of the featured speakers right at the top, and he's a beautiful message and all the beautiful messages that he has to say. We're going to have about, right now, it looks like we have about 70 speakers on this, almost all luminaries, and they're great personalities and they're great game changers. So we're talking about small shifts, big changes, and how small shifts can make a big change in your life. One little thing, one little piece of inspiration can make a big difference in the rest of your life. You know, so many people like Les Brown and James Dentley and even Lauren, and many people have told me that, you know, just a couple of words, you know, that somebody says to them have changed their lives. And, you know, we're going to have people that are going to give everybody over 200 ways to with just small little tips to change their lives. And I highly encourage you people to be there, because, you know, don't wait till you're in pain to try to change your life. That's a mistake. I was in pain for 28 years or 23 years, actually 28 years before I began to even look at changing my life. I didn't know what it was. I didn't have no clue. But, you know, if you have,
I didn't know it could be done.
Didn't know it could be done. There was
I didn't know it could be done.
Yeah.
I just thought I was stuck. It was, oh, well, I guess that's what came with me.
This is my fate.
Lucky ones.
Yeah. Everybody else was the lucky ones, and, you know, and I had to be immersed. I was cursed and immersed in suffering. You know, I went through my own hell. So this is a way to step your way out of hell if you're in one of them, or just to become better at whatever you are in your career and your health and your finances and your relationships and your joy, all those things. So
small shifts, big changes.
Exactly. Small shifts, big changes.
Get your pens and pencils ready, your tablets, your iPods, anything that you can record on, or make sure you have a calendar handy. That's what I need to say. Get a calendar handy so you can mark April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. You won't be sorry. When we return, we're going to find out more about this small shifts, big changes. I want some. How about you? Oh, wait, we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. The sun is coming in. Look at That sun coming in out there. Beautiful day here in the Chicagoland area. How are things shaping up in your neck of the woods? I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris, and we're here today with Harrison Klein. He'll be back in just a second. You saw the promo for Harrison Summit coming up, SSBC, small shifts, big changes. This starting the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of April. I will be there, as well as you heard Harrison say, just a ton, dozens and dozens of great illuminary speakers. Make sure you mark your calendars and get over. And also, we're going to have World Autism Day. World Autism Awareness Day is April 2nd. So we're doing a 90-minute television special from 2 to 4:30. Is it 2 to 4:30? No, 4 to 5:30, sorry. 4 to 5:30 p.m. Central, where I have 5 panelists. All of them are autistic. All of them are wonderful speakers, authors, entrepreneurs, you name it. And we're going to shed some light on what it means to be autistic and also how to celebrate and support those who are also autistic. That's coming up on April 2nd. So welcome back to the show, Harrison Klein. And I want to ask you right out the gate, let's go straight to SSBC. Small shifts, big changes. Who would you say this is for? Who's this weekend for?
Well, this weekend is for anybody who wants to make a difference in their lives and make a difference on the planet and the lives of other people. You know, we all have an urge to create. That is part of the human gift, and you know, the brighter and the smarter ones, they go into finding their gifts and expressing their gifts with courage and with boldness and being right. We all have this urge to be better, bigger, stronger, more connected, more available to all the things that we know and understand. And so this is for anybody who wants to upgrade their lives in any kind of a way, you know, anybody who wants to be inspired, anybody who wants to find new levels of understanding, new levels of you know, their finances and career. We have a lot of health people, we have a lot of wealth people, all talking about small shifts that will make a difference in their lives. And so it's for, you know, anybody who's in a space that wants to get mentored by an expert in a quick way to make a quick change that will make a big difference. So, you know, we're going to activate success mechanisms within each person. So, and between the about 67 or whatever numbers of speakers that we have right now, each of them has a way to activate something within you. Lauren has a way, Jamie has a way, you know, James has a way, you know, many other people, John has a way. They all have ways to activate this success mechanism within you. And, you know, we're going to get these new sensations. So it's for anybody who wants to upgrade their self-image, anybody who wants to upgrade their belief in themselves.
And I think that's a key word right there, upgrade, because so often we can fall into that mindset where we think, you know, I got it, I got this, I'm better than I was, I'm no longer who I was, this, that, and the other. But we forget, you know, you take your car in for a tune-up, you know, you have people come and clean your carpets, you upgrade your cabinets and your kitchen and all this if it's dated. So why not your mindset? And so that reboot, that reset, that recharge is also a very important thing, no matter how successful you consider yourself to be. It's a good thing to get in and plug in where you know it's a safe space and you can pour in and be poured into. And that's what's going to happen April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So next question, what can people expect when they show up? So kind of frame it for us. It starts... What time of the day does it start?
Well, it starts, I believe, 10 o'clock in the morning Eastern.
Okay, not too early, right?
Yeah, we're going to have 3 full days, from about 12-hour days, from 10 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the evening Eastern. So they can expect to, you know, connect with multiple luminaries. They can expect to experience a pre-event party, which will be a networking thing for everybody. They can expect to have a post-event party, which is where they get to ask direct questions of these luminaries. They can expect to be on any call whatsoever, just for free. It's just absolutely free. Just come, And if you want to upgrade to a premium package, you can too, or you can talk directly to luminaries and things like that. But you come for free. So there's this amazing amounts of information. You can expect to get a new self-image. We can't override the self-image we have. We are stuck by it. It's programmed into us, and we don't have any choice about that. It programs the way we behave. However, we are free to change that self-image into a new self-image, not to change the one that we have. We can't, but we can create a brand new one, create a new subconscious experience. So if you want to create a new you in any kind of way, you can expect to experience that from this summit, because every one of these people has really dynamic ways to make a difference in other people's lives. So you can expect a new self-image. You can expect a new belief in yourself, because once you begin the way we upgrade ourselves is with new ideas, new information, new concepts, new experiences. And so this is a way to really create new belief systems. There's going to be so many ideas. There's going to be so many things that change. We don't change on our own. Basically, for the most part, we have to change by incoming new information. So that's what changes us, the whole acceptance of new information. The only requirement to making a big change is your willingness to do that. So you have to want it, and you have to have a willingness to do that. And then you have to accept whatever it is that you allow the universe or God or whatever you want to call it to bring in. So that comes into your life, and it activates. Yes, go ahead, Lauren.
Let me ask this before we get too far down the road. So that's a lot of people, a lot of speakers. What would be the best way? What would you recommend for people to do starting now? Because I know there's no way in the world I can sit there 12 hours, 3 days in a row. I just can't, because I got to make a living. I got to do this. I got to do that. But I can go in. Is there a place? Where do they go? Where do we go in order to schedule what we want to be a part of over those 3 days? I need 2 hours of this. I'm going to do this 4-hour block here. Then I'm going to come back later in the evening, get up early on Sunday or whatever case may be. Where can people go to start piecing together what's going to be the best, who they want to see and what they want to take? Or I don't know about that person, but that sounds interesting. How do we go about planning our 3 days around this schedule? Do we go to a website? What happens?
Yeah. Go to www.smallshiftsbigchanges, Small Shifts Big Changes.
Oh.
And Small Shifts Big Changes. And there you'll see a list of the 70 speakers. You'll also have a schedule of who's speaking when, and you can sign up for any of the calls you want. So every speaker has a title to their talk as well. So you can see what their title is.
So we sign up for the different things that we want,
and you can sign up for the different ones that you want, or you can just show up for the different ones. It'll give you the times. Every speaker has a 1 hour mark, so it's about 45 minutes of speaking and about 15 minutes of Q&A. Or if if they've chosen a half-hour spot, it's 20 minutes of speaking and 10 minutes of Q&A. So you can go directly. So if you want to upgrade also and get all the speakers all at once, because you can only see a couple people who are there at the same time, we'll have 3, I believe, either 2 or 3 tracks going simultaneously. So we'll have many speakers in the same time slot sometimes.
Now, what about folks that may have to work or already have prior commitments? Is there a way to purchase a recording or talk about that too.
You can upgrade to the premium package, the VIP package, and that VIP package up until the date of April 2nd, which is the day of the event, you can purchase a premium package for $47. It's nothing. $47, and you get 70 speakers, 70 hours of instructions in greatness. But if you wait till April the 2nd and you come in and you want to upgrade, you want to get the recordings, you get a recording in the VIP package. You get every single recording, all 70 hours of all the people, plus a shitload. Plus a whole bunch
you said a naughty word.
And presents and gifts free gifts, free bonuses, free presents galore, parties, and all kinds of great things. Lions and tigers, oh my, woohoo!
Lions
Oh,
and tigers and bears. Oh my. Right. It sounds just incredibly valuable. And I
it
know it
is
is.
incredibly valuable.
Now, you're speaking, right?
I am 3 times.
Now, I want to ask you about some of your topics. I saw in the promo that you have tell us about neurogenesis and then also metacognitions. Because, you know,
Okay.
usually I'm giving you permission to do this because there's a standing rule on Bathrobe Moments. You can't use words over 6 letters. And
Yeah.
so I'm going to let you go on, I'm going to get you a pass on this one. Tell us what this is. Neurogenesis. Did I say it right? And
Yeah.
metacognitions. Explain that to us.
So I have developed a method. I have developed not one, but many methods, but to make changes, immediate changes in people's lives. You know, all the experiences that I have had, plus all the luminaries that I have and the circles that I've been around, and I've come into contact and mentored and been mentored by some of the greatest minds on the planet. You know, champions in athletics, champions in consciousness, champions in physics and literature and art and a whole bunch of things. I've developed a thing called quantum neurogenesis, which is a way to make quick changes and upgrade your life. So it's a 7-step process. It's very easy. You simply have to listen for a little bit of time and understand what's going on. And the understanding is fairly easy. So, and then there's exercises if you want to deepen your experience and so on and so forth. So quantum neurogenesis is this 7-step way to grow yourself in a dramatic and fast way. And
So-
neurogenesis means brand new, and genesis means beginning. So it's a brand new beginning. So it's a renovatio, if you will, a rebirth.
So right now, for that person, because I know if I didn't know you and I weren't sitting in this chair and I was just watching, I might say to myself, because I used to believe this, oh, well, that sounds like that's for really, really smart people. Those are some pretty big words. I am not that advanced. Where I need a beginner's space. This sounds like it's for advanced people. What is that? Is that just fiction? What's going on with that?
Yeah, you know, how do you think you get advanced? You get advanced by getting exposed to much bigger ideas and much bigger circumstances.
So people just getting started aren't going to get lost.
Nobody's going to get lost. It's
Okay.
very easy. It's number one, it's basic enough for everybody to understand. Number two, it's strong enough to make an impression on your subconscious. Number three, it has every hallmark of taking you into another level of your experience, of your being. So, you know, we advance sometimes by short increments, which is what this is about. There are 3 ways to change or 4 ways to change, and one of them is by inspiration. So the way that we change by inspiration is by getting like brand new ways to experience what we get, brand new ideas and information. So somebody who's just a beginner basically needs to hear a lot of and be immersed in the whole mindset of those people who are both, you know, advanced and more successful, or, you know, be around, you know, the high frequency vibrations or the good feelings. Vibration is just another word for feelings, but
Right.
the good feelings of those people who are in a state of steady well-being. So
Right.
the first thing to get into as you grow yourself is to get into a steady state of well-being. So when you don't have gigantic spikes in your positives or your negatives, because when you're being shoved around by the universe, that's all pain, you know, because you don't feel like you have any control.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm giving you back control, and what all these processes are doing are giving you back control and standing guard at the doorways of your mind so that you are clear, so that you know what you want, why you want it, when you want it, how you want it, and through whatever you know, experiences and who you want to be around with.
Assuming the position of gatekeeper.
Assuming that, yeah, you have to stand, exactly. You have to stand guard at the doors of your mind and not allow these negative things in. And some people have a hard time doing that, especially people who are not advanced. But guess what? You know, it just takes a little bit of practice. You have to first know what it is, and then you just have to practice it a little bit. And once you start to see the difference. It makes it, the momentum will carry you into much higher spaces.
So for those of you out there who are sick and tired of turning around in there going, how in the hell you get in here? Who let you in? You did when you left the door wide open. So
That's right.
This is how you get to find out how you can do better. I want to ask you something though here, because you work with people on this one-on-one. I'm sure you do group things. You just work with people on a this isn't just something from a summit or a book. This is something you do on a daily basis with people just like us. So give us an example. You don't have to use names, but give us an example of how this process changed someone's life that you actually worked with. They went from this to that. I'm from the show. I'm not from the Show Me State, but I am in here. I love examples. I love pictures. I like to see it. So tell us about somebody.
I'll give you 2 or 3 examples.
Give us your favorite one.
Well, I have 2. I've got to tell you, because they're 2 different areas. One is about an artist, and one is about a woman who was in bad health.
Okay.
So my artist friend was a guy who came to me. He lived in New York. Basically, he was a sculptor, and he was desperate at the end of his multiple, probably 15 or 19-year marriage or whatever it was. And he was he was fighting a lot, and that resistance and that experience with his wife over those last several years, ruined his business. So he lost his foundry because he was a sculptor who did these 18-foot high sculptures. And he sold to federal buildings and to, airports and very, very, prominent places and stuff like that, museums. So he did these sculptures. And so because of the fighting, he lost his business. He couldn't work well because he was too, in a state of distraction, and depression and all kinds of stuff. So when he came to me, he had lost most of his money. His marriage was eating up his soul, and he didn't have a choice to.
Pretty much life sucked.
Yeah, life totally sucked for him at that point. And he had a 6-year-old daughter, and he lived in New York City, and she had to go to a private school because where he was could have been dangerous for a 6-year-old. So he had to do that because his studio was not in the best neighborhood. So his studio had to be shut down, all that kind of stuff. So
how did he turn it around?
What's that?
How did he turn this around?
So within 6 weeks, he manifested a check for $250,000 just out of nowhere. He just, totally unexpected check for $250,000. 3 weeks after that, somebody gave him absolutely free, a gallery in downtown 28th Street in New York. And you know what that real estate cost? It's amazing. So this had no taxes involved. They just gave him that space. So so that's 3 weeks later. He repaired his marriage in a way that was like after 19 years, his wife and we went through all these processes of quantum neurogenesis and things like that. After 19 years, his wife hangs around his neck like they were just engaged, because like the whole relationship became romantic and inspired and really, significantly upgraded and beautiful in every way.
So do you attribute these big changes to some small shifts?
Small shifts all along the way.
For instance, what was one of the small shifts this gentleman made that created these bigger changes?
The understanding that everything was energy and that the things were not, that what was happening to him was not a curse and a negativity for him. The understanding that, that you can create your own reality and that what was going on did not have to carry an emotional charge. And when you remove the emotional charge, you get to see things clearly. And so change the way you think and the way you speak and the way you act. So
approach is everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So
how we approach.
What you tell yourself creates your reality. One of the things you tell yourself creates your reality. One of the things that you see in terms, everything is twice created, first in the mind and then out in the reality. And so now we changed a little portion of the way he saw something that changed his external reality. He saw it internally. To become a millionaire, you have to be a millionaire internally first before you
Those sponsoring thoughts.
Yeah, so it's all about thoughts. It's all about identity. So when you change who you are, the idea of who you are, you begin to behave differently, and your behavior and your action create reality experiences.
Well, but for a person to know that they need to change something, they first need to identify what needs to be changed. So how did you get him?
They have to be dissatisfied with something. So we want change when we're dissatisfied.
But a lot of us, when we think that we're dissatisfied with something, it's not, the finger doesn't point in our direction or something we have control over. We oftentimes play the blame game and point somewhere or someone else. So how do you get someone to see what they can change in their own home court?
Well, you tell them the truth about the fact that, what you're looking at isn't real. You're seeing it through a filter. So, what if you could see things a different way? What if this makes a difference? It's, we worry about a lot of things. All of us worry about a lot of things. All of us have judgments about a lot of things. All of us have different levels of interactions with people that we have ups and downs and goods and bads and all kinds of different things, but once we begin to understand that the world is in relation to us rather than we in relation to it, means we create our own reality. So as you begin to change the images and the thoughts of your mind, your reality begins to change. So that's a very small shift, is to say, okay, you see it this way. You see it that your wife is attacking you continuously. But what if she's not? What if she's just defending the fact that she's experiencing some pain in her own life, and she doesn't want to be, that kind of thing. So if you see it a little bit differently, you start to create some compassion.
Changing the lens.
Yeah, you change the lens, basically.
Makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Last question. I can't believe this hour has just flown by. It's just been so quick. Before we get out of here, let's be clear. For people who show up and they come in and they extract what they feel they need, what do they do with it, Harrison? Because a lot of people show up and sit in front row seats of events, or they come and they upgrade this and the other. They sign up for digital courses. They buy the audio book, but they never pull the trigger. They have it all. It's there. They show up. What is the thing that a person can bring into this experience that's going to help increase the chance that they do something with what they get?
That's right. They got to have a big why. Why do you want to change? Krishnamurti was asked, people would say, what's enlightenment like? And he would say, why do you want to know? He didn't ever answer what enlightenment was like. He said, why do you want to know? You got to have a big why. The bigger the why, purpose, exactly. You got to have a big purpose. And the bigger the why, the easier it is. Our job is not to find out the how. Our job is to find out the what. What is it that you want? What is it that you really care about? Juicy celery juice. Our job is to know the what and let the universe then get out of the way and let the universe give you.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I want to challenge each and every one of you to join us this again. The second, third, and fourth. The event is small changes, small shifts. SS.
Small shifts, big changes.
The SS mental. Small changes, big shifts, and not big shits. I said that once, and it's not what it is. It's big shifts.
Small shifts,
right?
Big changes.
Small. Oh, really? Small shifts, big changes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Boy, we'll be glad when this.
Yeah. It's a tongue twister.
Note to self. For me, anyway, choose events that have one title, one word. So I am not good at that. Harrison, on the screen, I'm going to put up where people can continue the dialogue if they have questions. Head over to IamHarrisonKlein.com, or better yet, for this weekend, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, do yourself a favor. Smallshiftsbigchanges.com is where you go, get registered, get yourself in there. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there. And Harrison, we look forward to learning and growing and everything else from you and this plethora of speakers that you've done a fantastic job, you and your team, getting this together. It's no easy task, and it's completely free. It's completely free, right? Woo! You have no excuse.
Friends, share.
That's right. Get everybody you can over.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm going to keep your promo here and play it all day this week. So in case you guys want to see more about it, ask me questions or head over and ask Harrison for yourself. You know, just get over and do it. Harrison Klein, thank you so very much for all that you do, not just the event coming up this weekend, but what you do on a daily basis. We truly, truly honor you. You are an illuminary icon. And
well, you are a shining light, my friend, and you are definitely a floodlight, an exposure of starlight for everyone. So
I'm trying to grow up and be you.
Well, I'm trying to grow up and be you.
Oh, I don't know.
It's all good. It's all good no matter what.
It's all good. And I look forward to it. And I hope you all will too. Listen, speaking of looking forward to things, I look forward to you coming back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central. We meet out front on the front porch. What's that?
Happy anytime. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And thank you all. Listen, you guys, get out of here now. Go out and conquer the day. Start by making a commitment that every person in every situation you may find yourself in, that you're going to leave it a little better than the way you found it. That's all you have to do. That's it. Done. Seen. Be better than you were. Look for the ER in life. Make strong, stronger, bright, brighter. Nice, nicer.
Get happy.
And good, gooder. Right. So you guys, listen. Have a blessed day. Harrison, God bless you. Thank you. I will see you this weekend.
Thank you, Lord. We will. I can't wait.
I can't either. Bye, you guys. Have a blessed day. See you tomorrow.
Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you.